and Dollar Central, going through to Twapia, the Gama Shot, in Luansha, Kitwe, Mufurila, Kalulushi, Chingola and Chililawombwe, Mufurila, for the massive support that we receive from our supporters and sympathizers. We, as a party, are truly humbled at the support that you accorded to us during our tour. We are also grateful for the sentiments that we received from you regarding your welfare and the many challenges that you have. We have since responded to some of the challenges and how we intend to address them. Chief among them are the challenges that are faced by the mine workers. This is to do with low wages and poor conditions of service. We have assured the miners that we introduce the sector minimum wage. And the sector minimum wage in the mining sector will address the disparities that exist in salary scales, between the mining houses, as it were. It will also address the low wages that are paid to miners who are working for subcontractors, because the sector minimum wage policy will affect all the operators and stakeholders within the mining sector, including mining houses, subcontractors, transporters, name them. Whoever is within that sector will be amenable to that particular policy. So it's an assurance to our miners that their conditions of service and the challenges that they face will indeed be addressed. Further, we have assured the miners that the complaints that we've received to do with Satunya Regina, a private pension house, which they feel has not been serving them diligently. We've assured the miners that they'll be given options, to shift to a pension house of their choice, so that their monies can be saved. We've also assured the youth of the Copper Belt that whilst we promote and encourage investment, we want to preserve and reserve some of the areas within the mining sector for our youths. For instance, the so-called Black Mountains, the tailings, the dump sites, will be strictly reserved for our Zambian youths. And we want to encourage our investors to focus on greenfield mines, which will be facilitated through Ministry of Mines. That's the only way they'll create jobs, new jobs for our people, whilst the youths continue with their mining activities supported by government in the tailings and the dump sites, in the Black Mountains, whatever you may call them. We have assured the youths that we will formalize the small-scale mining, starting with the gold mining, right through to the tailings and dump sites, through the support that will be given to these youths in form of equipment and technical support to make sure that they can mine safely, protect the environment, and also be able to grow their businesses, within that space. There have been issues of poor infrastructure here on the Copper Belt. Indeed, the infrastructure as regards roads is deplorable. We are looking at the water infrastructure is also deplorable. In many cases, areas like Mufurila, there is no water. Chililawombwe has no water. Chingola has water challenges. This is because the mines that may have been investing in these water utilities are no longer doing so. So we have since promised our people that working with the mines will ensure that we come up with durable solutions to address the challenges that they face today. The Zambians are also wondering, especially the workers. They were asking us very interesting questions, countrymen and women. One of the ladies, one of the old women asked me to say, President, ushaida kopa vale imbakale, kopa bembana nomba na unai kusana. Bantu ya kopa vale imbakale, okufumamuli ya kopa. Ama mai nyale kula mayanda, nyale kula maklabu, nyale kula emisebo,
nefintu fingi muno mukopa belt nambato mana kwati mikopa yali kusana ibale imba nomba because they feel that the same copper when it was mined under the CCM, the proceeds from the mines translated in development. There were very good roads right through the copper belt. The houses were built for the workers by the same mines as it were, and they still remain profitable. So they're wondering what the difference is now between the copper that was mined then and the copper that is mined now. We've assured these women that it's all about leadership. It starts with leadership. To be able to sit down with these investors, they must appreciate that the principle of shared value must apply. The people must see value in their minimum worth beyond the taxes that we're getting. We expect the mines to invest in social amenities. We expect them to invest in road infrastructure. We expect them to invest in water infrastructure. We expect them to invest in health infrastructure, education infrastructure as it were. This is part of the welfare of their workers, because the people who benefit from these amenities are the people that work for them. So there should be a component where the mining houses consider the welfare of their staff. And the welfare of their staff goes beyond the work environment. It actually extends to their homes. It extends to the families. And that is the reason why we're talking about health infrastructure, education infrastructure, among others. So like we said, it's all about leadership and what the priorities of those leaders are. Our government will ensure that working with the mines, we jointly work on this infrastructure and make most of these places habitable, increase the housing units, as it were, for, for the workers, because most of the old houses are now privately owned. The mines, should go further and build houses. We've also looked at the chiefdoms. We visited Chief Ghana, and his situation is not very different from many other chiefs. Now, looking at their chiefdoms and the wealth that is involved in these particular areas, they definitely deserve better. They deserve better road infrastructure. They deserve better houses, palaces, as it were. And as a chiefdom, we will ensure that they get some royalty of some sort, from these mining houses, to be able to develop and improve the lives of the people within. The chiefdoms could empower their women with basic capital. They also build certain social amenities within their communities. So as the mining houses are expanding in business, we expect the areas where they're coming from to also show some improvement. So these are some of the commitments that we've made to our people. Yes, so we have looked at the civil servants, and starting with the police. It's unfortunate. We feel sorry for the police, as a matter of fact, and we know that they're being given unlawful instructions. They are forced to stop us at every juncture. We've basically been blocked at every point when we want to enter a town. The police are directing us not to use certain routes because they don't want us to interact with our people. And most of them the police officers are doing this under a lot of stress and a lot of pain, because they don't believe that these instructions are actually lawful. Now, whilst we know that there are some bad elements within the police service, we also know that there are professional police officers within that, and we would want to protect these professional police officers that are discharging their duties professionally, because we also have to look at their welfare. We need to look at their accommodation. We have to look at their uniform. We have to look at their transport, as it were. So our commitment even to the police, despite the differences that we had during this period, is that we understand what you're going through. We promise to professionalize the police service, depoliticize the police service, and also ensure that recruitments are done on merit within that service so that they can serve our people better. We want the people to provide a service to the people. We have promised our people that under our government, we will not use police to point guns at innocent citizens. We will not use Zambia National Service, for instance, to be shooting down youths merely because they're carrying 2 bags of milling on their heads or 4 bags in a taxi and appearing to be going across the border. That's not what we'll do. No youth will be killed under our government under those circumstances. What is even most disheartening is that whilst youths are being shot down in that fashion, political cadres were getting a meal worth hundreds of millions of kwacha in trucks across the same borders, sending it to Congo. And yet youths were losing lives over 2 bags of meal. That is immoral, that is evil, that is criminal, as it were. So we've assured our youth in Mufurila, that you will not be buying meal using your NRCs. You're Zambians, just walk into a shop and buy meal. We'll address those challenges, first of all, by producing more, by supporting farmers through FISIP. They'll produce more, and when they produce more, the country will be food secure. Whoever wants to export maize and export meal, you can do so, because the government would have secured their food, as it were. So we have also assured the Zambians we will not take advantage of certain security wings like ZNS to get maize from FRA and distribute it to our cadres so that they export it and not remit the money. We call that pure theft, and we've promised that there will be no theft in our government. Our friends have had some methodical and structured thefts where they command the FRA to release meal to Zambia National Service through ego milling. Then they later release the meal to their cadres, who export it to Congo, receive hundreds of millions of kwacha, and not remit this money to the Zambian people. In the end, the farmers are suffering. This we have said we will not do. We have assured our teachers that our free education will be free and quality education. We will reduce the teacher pupil ratio from 1 to 150 to 1 to 45, and between 45 and 50, so that our pupils can receive quality education. We've gone further to promise that we'll provide free books in schools for our pupils. We'll also provide free uniforms for our pupils in schools. We've encouraged our women that they'll be empowered through clubs and cooperatives, empowered with sewing machines and working capital, so that they will then be sewing uniforms and supplying them to schools, which the students will benefit from. Yeah, so these are some of the areas that we've touched whilst on the Copper Belt, and of course we're proceeding to Northwestern Province. The challenges in the province may not be different. We know that the chiefs there are complaining. Their areas remain very poor, and yet producing a lot of mineral wealth that is being exported outside the country. The youths there have no jobs because they are not given a chance to work in the mines. The suppliers are not given a chance to supply those mines. Those that discovered gold are being kicked out of these gold areas, and once they complain, they are given licenses which they are holding as mere pieces of paper, whilst other people transported from other regions are the ones who are actually mining gold on those particular areas. So we're going to address these challenges so that going forward, the youths get back to their gold sites. We formalize those particular sectors. We empower our youth with equipment, with the technology, and some technical training in their mining activities. We'll ensure that the chiefdoms have some royalties coming from these mining houses to be able to develop their particular areas, and also ensure that infrastructure development is prioritized in Northwestern Province, because there is no evidence that this province actually hosts the largest physical mining activity in Africa. There's no evidence to show that the people still remain poor, infrastructure still remains poor. So we're going to Solwezi to look at the challenges that the people face in Northwestern Province.
Thank you, Mr. President. Do we have any questions? Okay, that's good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.